Okay, Nicholas, let's go ahead and take a look here. Before we take a look together at the banner ad, I do want to go through your writing. There's a couple of things here I wanted to address. Um, Speed and trimming down the file size. Okay, yeah, I've got some comments about the animations. They're not quite following the requirements, but we'll go over that in 1 second. Yes, a different image suggests this is what a massage idea would hopefully be an easier fit for the. You say you used a different image. Boy, I would have liked to have seen the magazine ad submitted with this banner ad just so we can check visual harmony and consistency within the campaign. I had requested that students submit their PDF of their magazine ad in the Welcome to Module 6 video, but apparently it appears you didn't have time to do that. So we have just the banner ad to look at. So I intentionally set it to not to repeat because it wasn't able to figure out a way to have the promotional offer animation aspect repeat without the entire GIF repeating, and it won't. I mean, it's on a loop, right? So the whole thing will repeat. We'll talk about that in a second too. I would set it to a forever loop, and we'll talk about that in a second. I think it'll make sense. Looking at it further before the next submission. By the way, there is no next submission. Next submission is your final. So um, if I can or need F5, the keyboard shortcut to refresh a page if you'd like to watch it from the beginning again. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the banner ad. All right, and I'm just going to reduce this. So as we can see, it only animates once. But the problem is, um, you know, if you take a close look at and first of all, let me just say this: you've done a really good job experimenting with animation. That said, if you take a close look at the rubric, the only thing required to be animated is the call to action. And that's for a reason. And the reason is just to ensure simplicity and a high degree of harmony between the magazine ad and the banner ad. So right now we have a lot of different things happening and then the GIF just stops. So what I would recommend is this, is as much as I hate to say it, I would go ahead and forget the transparency on the background. Just use the full image, the full transparent, opaque image, right? Don't set it to transparent at all. Now take this, you owe it to yourself, reduce the size, set it right up here, left align, you owe it to yourself, headline. Then you take right below that, receive 20% off of any massage on Wednesday, left align that. That's the only thing that gets animated. That's the call to action. That's it. So all of that other stuff, this, as cool as it is, and it's not required or recommended in this particular assignment. So what I would recommend, just to really, really make this ready for your portfolio, is again, headline, reduce the size, left line right here, subhead right below the headline. That's the only thing. Fade it in, fade it out, then immediately fade it back in, fade it back out. So it's on a continuous loop. At that point, we don't need any of this stuff, okay? This is all information it doesn't need to be included in a banner. As a designer, your job designing a banner ad is to get the viewer to click the ad. That's it. Your job is done. You don't have to provide any kind of further information. As a matter of fact, a lot of people won't look at a banner ad if there's a lot of text in it. So you basically just kind of want a little teaser. So here's the promotion. Now it's up to you to decide if you want to click, okay? So I would remove all of that type right there. I would just include the headline, the subhead, animate the subhead, which is also the call to action. Logo, lower right-hand corner, and then lower left-hand corner is the contact information. You don't have to include the entire contact information. Just include, you definitely don't have to include the URL either, as the whole banner will act as a link to the client's website. So just over here, you can just say something like located in beautiful St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, or something like that. Okay, and then finally, if you increase the transparency of this background, which I recommend, this flower is going to look really strange. So at that point, I would recommend taking that flower and maybe placing it in one of the corners, bleeding off the page. Maybe a couple of flowers, a little composition of flowers right over here on that side of the page. Then you have the located in beautiful St. Thomas. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Now, I don't want to sound discouraging. I think you've done a fantastic job with all of your experimentation here. and we'll look at it one more time. And it's cool. I think it's very cool. But at this point, it's not exactly a fit for the requirements that we're looking for to round out this this campaign. And again, I'm the only reason I'm saying that, just so you know, is that it is a requirement in the rubric to only animate the call to action. Okay. Otherwise, I would say this is great, great experimentation, everything's working, but this is contrary to the recommendations and requirements in the rubric. So that's the reason why I'm being so adamant about changing it. All right, so go ahead and make those changes, resubmit. I'll be glad to provide additional comments. And of course, if you have any questions at all, or if I can clarify anything, please let me know. All right, thank you very much.